The content of this meeting is being sent to a third party. Yes.
Yeah, so setting up the meeting for the YouTube live.
Great.
Just to double check, Kamlesh,
The content of
let's
this
start
meeting is being
preparing the two documents.
Yeah, I'm just clicking.
Open it on
Yeah,
Google
so
Chrome,
setting up
please.
the meeting for the YouTube live.
Correct. Just to double check,
And
the content of this meeting is
preparing the two documents.
Yeah, I'm just
Do you have the capability to share also? Can Julian give you a sort of a host for you to share?
Yeah, I able to share it.
Yes. Try to avoid opening lots of tabs, please. Only just two.
Okay.
I've shared. That's YouTube live. I just shared it to you there. It's live at the moment on YouTube.
So we need to wait, like, let's see how many people join.
Hello, Muhammad. I see that Muhammad Rida, if finance has just joined. That was a nice chat.
He came and he went. So he may be having technical problems. So I think we should give it 10 minutes. And then maybe
Yeah.
what we can do, well, we decide to go ahead, we'll just discuss amongst ourselves, or we could redo it. Maybe people prefer during the week. Maybe that would be a more an easier thing to do, maybe during work time.
I was in the image that actually, if we push it to Saturdays, it's gonna be easier for them.
I don't know. I don't know how things work. Yeah, it works both ways. It works both ways, right? It works both ways. At the beginning of the year, everyone's not quite so up. I find people aren't quite into the doing things at the weekend yet because they just had this enormous long weekend and they got used to having
Exactly.
time off, which fades with the year as we get more
The
into it.
sunset of work, yes. The
Yeah,
sunset of work.
the concept of work, exactly. That's what I'm saying. The there we are. We get it. Having said that, I've been working, I think, since the beginning of the year. So it's going to be an interesting year. A lot of interesting stuff happening. I think it's going to be exciting. So if we don't get a group today, no big deal. I think we can maybe we discuss amongst ourselves here. Maybe I stop streaming in a minute, right? Maybe I do. Should I stop streaming? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think we can do so. Ali, maybe you can brief about that vision document which we created, and then we can go to the chapter wiki one. And people in between join, we can take input. Otherwise, we can conclude in that way.
Okay. So do you want me to continue streaming?
Yeah, I think let it continue now.
Moment, no problem. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, would you like to start sharing your screen, please, Kamlesh?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the one.
Mainly regarding the first document, the Arabian Chapter on the Linux Foundation Decentralized Trust, we're proposing these countries or main cities, if I were to say, from Jeddah, Riyadh, Dammam, Saudi Arabia, Beirut, Lebanon, Abu Dhabi, and Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, Cairo, Kuwait, Libya, and Morocco. If we go directly to the central point, which is the, if you can go please below Kamlesh.
Yeah.
We had a fruitful meeting with also some other from Wipro, I think with Molshanker. So we reached an understanding that it's always good to target the hot topic. That's why we're considering three main ideas to consider for the Arabian chapter that will be held, if I were to say, in a panel form. The first vision idea is a government and blockchain. We'll be considering approaching governmental personnel from the Saudi government or Saudi governmental entities, so as not to target the government itself. Several governmental entities are specialized in this as we speak, especially for the emerging technologies, blockchain, artificial intelligence, also integration with IoT. The other second idea, which is R&D, which we believe this would be something good for Linux Foundation if someone from the R&D department or maybe some other senior personnel to talk about what's going on, what's the newly updates. I've been going through all the newsletter received from LFDT for the R&D department, so I thought that would definitely give us an edge by proposing and showing the innovative research and development works done by LFDT. The third idea, which is proposing academia collaboration for students and faculty in training and education. This is, we try to develop a sort of a curriculum that we can target the universities to promote formally the Hyperledger courses, online training materials, and why not to mix it with certified bodies from Linux Foundation. We went through the details of that, also found that there has been some minimum requirements like 2 or 3 blockchain certified people, in addition to some other logistics preparation. So we're considering our proposed ideas is government and blockchain, where we'll be targeting the compliance, regulations, rules. Second idea, which is R&D for LFDT. And the third one, which is the academia, to promote the educational sector of the blockchain based on Hyperledger.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful.
Yeah, and how you can join our Discord channel. So there is a Arabian chapter Discord channel is there where you could connect. And what we are planning, so we are going to maintain the Wikipedia
Yes.
section. We're maintaining the when someone jump to the Arabian chapter page, what they will see. So we'll introduce and then we will give our joining information, how someone can join the meetings with the timings on the meeting information. And then we, because as a Linux Foundation Decentralized is some kind of non-profit foundation. So there's some antitrust policy and code of conduct is defined. So we also, so anyone who is joining the meeting should have follow this code of conduct and antitrust policy. And then we have some section where we maintaining about the new members coming to the first time to the chapter. So
Would you like to read it? Would you like to read it, please?
yeah, so every while Deputy and Arabian Chapter will hold a meeting with the community at large. We have a mix of returning and new members to the Deputy Arabian Chapter community. This page is helpful checklist of things all chapter members should do to get up a stay connected with the LFDT. So, and RM chapter community is the serve as a member. So we will defining the, let's say, our leadership team. So currently, let's say Ali is chairing the Arabian chapter, and then if he
Julian, is it the right word? Is it the right word to write chair?
yeah, chair is the right word. Chair, co-chair. I think this thing is a standard.
That's correct.
All the
Okay.
chapters plus SIGs and working groups. And then we are maintaining the directory, membership directory, who are the people joining the meetups or participating in our Arabian chapter calls or meetups or whatever. They can come to this document link or the Wikipedia page and insert their information about their name, their contact details and location and the company they belongs. And then if the someone coming first time, as like if someone is coming to first time in the any of the Linux Foundation project, so how they can getting started. So we get given some guidelines how they can do it. They need to create a Linux Foundation ID. Then they can go to the Arabian chapter wiki page. They can subscribe the mailing list. So and they can subscribe to the Discord channel group Arabian chapter 1. And there will be one Arabian chapter meeting calendar will be available. So if someone want to be add the calendar in their respective calendars, they can add via clicking on this link. And then they add the information in the directory which I just given above here. So they can add the information. And then like there is some official repository or data given by the Linux Foundation about the antitrust policy. They can read from there what is allowed, what is not allowed. There is a LFDT getting involvement. Some videos is issued or uploaded to the LFDT YouTube channel. Someone can there's some frequently asked question as well. This is getting started guide for anyone who is coming first time. And then in the this wiki we are maintaining about the what kind of activities things we are doing. So we have a separate event section page where we're maintaining about the our upcoming or the existing or the old events we're going to plan with
I
the
would suggest adding also the meetup sessions.
yeah. So add the meetup session as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So blockchain tech test hackathons, blockchain stories, also in addition to meetup session.
Yeah, meetups. And
yes, it's
and meetups. And then because we are connecting depending on the schedule, whether it's a weekly, bi-weekly or monthly, they will be maintaining the meetings. So we are noting down all the meeting. So we will create our own format, like what kind of discussion we're doing, who are joining the calls, what contribution made by the different people joining the calls. We will maintaining all the minutes of meetings this year. And there will be one section where we are listed out all the groups who are part of it. So this kind of and how we grow, we will keep updating this particular wiki repository to up to date with the latest information and the new initiatives going to be taken care in a Arabian chapter. So this is about the wiki structure.
very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What do you think, Julian?
No, it looks good. Looks good. So definitely, this is a comprehensive, right? Proposal. Yeah, I think it looks good. I think the vision ideas. Let's look through those, right? So you're going to do government and blockchain collaborations, which you're working on, which is great. We got the, yeah. I think we can get someone to come and talk about what's happening in LFDT. Maybe we can get somebody like Hart to talk or something, or somebody else. or myself, somebody, come and talk about what we're doing. Then academia. Yeah, that's great. I think one area that there seems to be, the kind of hot topics at the moment is Bezier, right? And maybe Fabric. Maybe if we could someone come and talk about where we are with Bezier or Fabric, I think that would get a lot of attention, right? Uh, I think that would be good. Maybe focusing on some of the projects, and obviously the stuff we're doing it with Hyro as well, with the Hedera there's lots of interesting kind of meetups we could do, right? So those are some of the
Yes.
ideas that I could add to the mix. We're just about to do an interoperability workshop in New Jersey, which is actually run by not by a chapter, but run by Decentralized LFDT. But there's some things that we can ultimately do.
Okay, so I was suggesting some kind of workshop could be also planned, right?
Yeah.
So I think maybe then additional idea we could mention about that activity where we maybe invite some LFDT staff or the member to do the workshop on the specific topics. Let's say when I seen earlier some CBDC workshop is done, some identity management platform workshop is done, or this Besu workshop, similar kind of thing can be done.
We can do those. I mean, we can do those. But, in the end, we have to make sure we have, people have to come. We need to find the people to do that within the region, right? And obviously, you can get people out. If you're going to do it virtually, we can do it. But if we want to do physical events, at some point, I hope to get it out there again and do some kind of we could do some kind of meetup roadshow. I could go around a number of the key areas and get spread the word and come and support. But I'm not sure that how necessary is or when that should happen. What else? There's all kinds of things that we can do, right?
Yes. I
Yeah.
think taking into consideration the current situation, I think it's also good to start preparing for our second meetup session. Let's join to allocate a time and specify a subject and involve personnel to promote the second session to give more energy for the community. Then we can go for a physical panel with a physical location, and maybe to call some seniors, if I were to say to someone from, and this is actually the proposed idea. So we're considering this sort of even someone from Ambridge, I don't know, from the government side, LFDT side, academia side, someone specialized in that section also. So I think we can do definitely combining like 4 or 5 people with the one moderator. It would be, I think it's gonna do the buzz for that. Yes.
Cool. Definitely.
Okay.
If you could get a list, do we have a list of events that happen in the Middle East, like the big events? I mean, there are some. I know there's Token 2049 is happening in.
There is Leap. There is the Leap is going. There's so many actually. I mean, on a daily basis, you'll find more than 20 mega forums and exhibitions going, especially in Saudi Arabia. It's becoming more and more loud, if I were to say, when it comes to generation of new ideas and meetups.
Fantastic.
Yes, and there's also, as we speak, actually, some of my team should have been engaged in this meeting, but they had to go for a very important workshop. As we speak, they are in Al Hassa. So things, yes, are rolling. We're also we have registered for the PIF, proposing a sort of a forum or an exhibition with all its related companies. So we have already registered in that. So yes, things are moving very fast.
Right. And I think Ali, I think Julian just mentioning about the token 2049 is happening somewhere, I think in April. I think it's the end of April. 29, 13th, 31st, 30th April and 1st May. So maybe we could think about our physical panel, the Arabian chapter, and when the LFDT staff coming, because I think they will be coming on the token 2049. And so we can do the this as well there, and we can get the good attention and exposure out there.
So you're proposing mid of April?
Yeah, so I'm proposing, let's say, because LFDT staff will be definitely traveling. I think Julian and Daniela will be almost, I think will be there in Token 049. This will be end of April actually. And we can similar time frame, we can plan our this the physical the event which planning. We can do in that particular time frame where this LFDT staff can join as well. I think this
This is a
could
fantastic idea. What's your input on this, Julian? Do you recommend, or do you think
Yes.
it's better
So
to go for?
I'm looking at that. So what I'm starting to look now is events, around the region that we should get involved, I or others get involved in. And 2049 is I'm actually approaching them to be a community member because we end up being community members for these events, and that could be one. That's why I was asking, are there any other ones that you think would be important? Because I think it would be great for us, for me to come and help and support you, right, on the activities that you're doing, and our members and others, right? So 2024 9 is one of them. That's the one I had targeted. That's in Dubai, isn't it? Yes, it's in Dubai.
Yes.
I'd like to do something in Saudi as well, right? So there's something in Saudi that you think I should be going to. This is the one. Remember last year it rained during this. Last year it kind of got rained out, right? That was a year ago, right? This is the same event, which rolls around. I went to Token 2049 in Singapore. I was there, right? It does a number of cities, but it's one of a number of events which we could focus. If there's an event you think I should be going to, we should then, or maybe around the same time, we could do one in Saudi. Generally, they do these events all the same time, so you can try and do like a road show and go and see a number of them.
Correct. I think the same time frame when we do in the Saudi in our own Arabian chapter event, then you can join us there, and it will
Correct.
be good.
So this is one I'm targeting. Obviously, we have a limited travel budget, so I had to be careful and choose selectively. But obviously, the Middle East, more Arabia, is very important to us. So I definitely want to get there again as soon as possible, and support you guys, our members and our community.
Very
So I
good.
think,
So we can suggest like going for I don't know, 22 of April or 23 of April for the panel.
Yeah, if you want to do a panel, you mean an event in Saudi, right? Yes, we could do that beforehand, right? Exactly. I'm not sure. How does that work in days, like 30th of April? What day is the 30th of April?
So I think not in the
Third,
week
it's
before,
Wednesday.
maybe 1 or 2 days
Yeah.
after or before, because maybe
Yeah.
Julian want to be there for at least 10 days, right? Maybe let's say coming maybe
Yeah, I could do that. So we could do like the 28th or something like that. Like the Monday would be good because
It would be
from Sunday to Thursday, right? So that would be good. Monday.
okay. So I need also to circulate it internally with my team, Kamlesh, because I also want to onboard the right people. So we'll be targeting the main big governmental entities like Aramco, Skiko, SABIC, PIF. So these guys, these invitations usually take a bit of time, as these guys are busy, if I
Yes.
were to say. So so just in a time frame, we're talking around end of April. It might be good for you. And even if some other cases we went or ran even after the Dubai, maybe after coming from Dubai, we can do that. It's so,
Yes,
but
either
we're
side.
talking about this time range. That's very good.
Yeah, and it'll give us
Okay,
a time
I'll
to plan.
circulate it internally.
Exactly.
Yes, I'll circulate it internally with that and revert back hopefully in the very soon. For the meanwhile, before also our before our panel, or physical panel, we'll be considering also having a meetup session, also to engage more and more the community. So, is there any subject that you think it's also the first meetup was for the CBC, central bank digital currency? Any suggestions for the second session?
So I think, as I said, I think CBDC was a great subject. We could talk about a kind of business oriented, but maybe we should now appeal to the technical side, right? So I think maybe a talk on Besu, where we are, roadmap, who people are using it, maybe talk a little bit about EVM. I think that may, I don't know. So what do you see?
I think Besu or maybe the interoperability, maybe Cacti framework.
Yeah, the calculate framework or something on Fabric, because everyone knows Fabric Bezier, right? So anybody who's in Arabia now using Fabric or Basic would want to turn up, right? We would have an audience of people who would want to turn up. So yeah, I think either of those would be, but yeah,
This
interoperability.
is a good suggestion. This is a very good suggestion. If I may ask, please enlighten me, Julian. Are there any works related to quantum computing in Hyperledger, Fabric, Bezier, or any subjects related to quantum computing or post-quantum encryption or decryption on that aspect?
So within Linux Foundation, there is Linux Foundation Decentralized Trust. We have a little bit of work on cryptography, right? And the big area is post-quantum cryptography, right? So once we have quantum, the cryptography that needs to be there in order to protect us all, right? Our transactions across the planet, and obviously the underpinning of blockchain technology and distributed technologies. So Hart has two roles. Hart is the CTO of Linux Foundation Decentralized Trust. He's also the CTO of our post-quantum project. So Hart can come and talk about post-quantum at any time.
This is extremely very important, and I would love to suggest having a short meeting with him to prepare for this subject if he finds it also applicable, something very interesting. And I think such topics would engage more and more in the community, especially for the concerns of the rising of the blockchain and the supercomputing, if I were to say, with the GPUs for quantum computing. Yes, this definitely can be something very hot.
So I think it's a good idea. I think instead of into other topics, let's invite Hart only to talk about the post-quantum cryptography in Liquidity ecosystem or Alephon's ecosystem.
Or the importance of cryptography and obviously post-quantum is part of that, right? Where we're going, what we're doing. We have protection of keys. We have all kinds of different projects around. What's the future of cryptography? I could ask him. Maybe that's something. We could put together something around the subject. Another subject
would be good.
Yeah,
and it would be good also to see what countermeasures, if I were to say, LFTT is taking to maintain the durability of the infrastructure.
Yeah. No, obviously, yeah. So post-quantum is and Hart is who's our CTO, right? He's a Stanford PhD in cryptography. He speaks at all the conferences. He continues that academic work, right? So he's very much in the crosshairs of that subject, right? At a very deep level. So here I'm just sharing in the chat a bit about the post-quantum cryptography alliance that he's working on, right?
So I think maybe we can invite him for this thing only. He's okay. There is a LFDT thing. He's okay. He can talk about on this one.
The other things he could talk about, which he did a talk at the ETH in Bangkok, right? Which we saw was a great talk on open source, right? He can talk about open source technology, how you should be doing open source technology, and all the licenses. So he did a great talk, which I think got publicized just very recently. And he obviously can talk about, Linux Foundation Decentralized Trust. He is our CTO. So he's somebody who we could, and we did when I was at the Global FinTech GFF in Mumbai. Him and me did a workshop, right, on these subjects.
So then,
Did a few workshops on them.
Maybe you can introduce him over the email, like we are looking his session on whether in a cryptography or whether it's an open source talk, like, and then we can find out his availability, his schedule, and we can plan accordingly.
Yeah. So he's based in West Coast, so this kind of time's a little bit early, so we could do it a little bit later, an evening event for your time zone, right? Or yeah, I think that's the best way, right? What time is it at the moment in
5 p.m.
It's 5 p.m. Yeah. So yeah, we could do. So he would be awake at like 7 a.m. Right? Your time would be 7 a.m. Your time will probably be. Are you exactly 12 hours from PST? Right? I think you must be Pacific Standard Time, around that. So yeah, so we could definitely get him to come on and do a talk. I can talk with him and find out, and he'll probably see this, right? Because it's a recording. He'll be very capable of doing something, and we can tailor something for the community, right? But it sounds like, and I know the hot topic, as you're saying, right, is post quantum. It's one of the hot topics, right? And we have within the Linux Foundation, I think, with Hart and his project, we have some of the smartest minds working on it in our open source community.
Glad to know that. Okay, great. So regarding our action plans, action points, the first one is we have to discuss developing this meetup. Kamlesh or I will be dropping an email to you for the Quantum to engage hard following this fruitful meeting. The second one, we have arranged to create a sort of an understanding for the panel to be around the end of April. We'll circulate it internally to see the engaging personnel and to discuss the logistics, the several parameters that are related to developing this panel. I think this is more than good regarding this document. I think we can proceed. Right. Also, Kamlesh was saying that we still need like a green light to develop this wiki page. So if this wiki is fine, can you please direct us what to do next to start publishing this wiki page? The other page, please, wiki. Which out, Kamlesh.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. Yeah. So this is obviously, as you know, David Boswell would be managing this. But yes, let's look at it. Be excellent, wonderful. Kamlesh, do you want to take?
Okay. Or can we have a certain timeline for that, just to know the feedback, how to proceed, because tentative deadlines are very important at this.
Yeah, so one thing he mentioned was having a co-chair, right? That's something he mentioned, right? And I know that, so there's a few people we could reach out to, I know already. I think you had a conversation, did you not, Kamlesh, with some
Mulshankar. We already had a detailed call with him, Ali and me, I think this week.
Yeah, and obviously he's listening to this. So what was the outcome of that? Was that just an initial conversation and no decisions made?
No, actually, we proposed the other document, please. In addition to this wiki page, Kamlesh, if you can go for the second document, please. Yeah. We also agreed the second document, please. Yeah. We also agreed on these three concepts that targeting government and blockchain. This is something very important, the R&D and the academia. Yeah. So this is actually the core finding of our meeting.
Cool.
So all this discussion we made after having a call with him, what his vision, what he's thinking about the chapter, how he will contribute, all we discussed with him. And then we created this three vision currently.
And the thought about him being potentially the co-lead as well, was that something that was discussed or agreed, or we didn't get to that point?
Can you please elaborate? Just did we miss anything in that meeting? Yes, Kamlesh.
No, I think that we discussed with him, but like whether involving him as another co-chair, I think maybe we collectively need to take decision, right? David also that, and I think,
and we're fine with that. We're totally fine. Actually, he can eat. Yes. So in the other document, he can add his as a co-chair, he can add his credentials, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Actually, this will lead to a better engagement of the whole community.
I think that'd be great. So and it'll have yes. So let me have a chat with David and see how where David. I'll chat to him. And you guys can chat. We all can chat to him, right? But I can help in that process, and that's good to have more representation in a number of locations, right? I think we're in a position to get things moving as soon as possible.
But Kamlesh, I would suggest not to put his name. I prefer that he put it just to have his final consensus of this.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
better that he puts his.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yes. Yeah. So let's have a chat. Maybe I can have a call with him as well. I can catch up.
We rely on your support for these points actually discussed here today.
We also have some other people who could, if he doesn't, TCS telling me they have someone there. We have a lot of other people, right? And this can be a fluid thing, right? And we can have other roles.
Also, we might be interested in having someone from Hedera.
Yeah, if there is somebody, yeah, definitely.
Actually, I've been reviewing the works of Hedera. I don't have any acquaintances there or referee, but if we can get someone from Hedera, I think these guys are doing something good. So why not work with
Ali, for Hedera, I know one of my friend who is there in Dubai, recently shifted from India, and he's the even technical steering committee member of the Hedera. We can talk to him as well. If you're looking for the
Okay.
Hedera person out there.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
I think there's a number of people. There was a number of people in Dubai who are around the region.
He's the technical string member of the Hedera project.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. That's very good. Claire, you also have been doing some good work lately. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So then what I will set up a call with him, with you, and then we discuss about him, whether he's interested or not, because because he is maybe leading a one company in Dubai. So whether he has a time or not, but we can talk to him. But he's a very technical person and leading the Hedera technical steering committee member.
Great. Looking forward for this meeting also.
Okay.
This would be an action point. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time and efforts. Looking forward to having the feedback from David, from this friend of yours. From my side, I'll be circulating and definitely reverting back to that.
Okay.
Excellent.
Looking forward for the best, the fruitful 2025 for all of us. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Absolutely. And we can obviously have a regular meeting like this, start doing it, and start getting more and more people involved and just build it up. I think it bodes well for a good year.
I really hope so. I'm having very high expectations for this year.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, 2025 is going to be a great year. I can't guarantee it, but I can.
At least we can hope for that.
But together we can work on it and make sure it is, right? It's up to us. It's up to everybody.
Yes, the best way to predict future is to make it happen.
Exactly. That's a great saying. Yes, definitely.
Looking forward for that.
Okay. Excellent.
Thank you very much, Julian. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Take care. Have a great one. Take care.